Ever wondered if your prepper pantry is a ticking time bomb? Today we're diving deep into the world of canned foods, exposing the worst contenders for long-term storage. I'm Mike and this is Prepping for Tomorrow. Get ready for a prepper alert that might just save your pantry. In our quest to prepare for an uncertain future, canned foods have become our go-to companions. They're convenient, portable, and have a shelf life that seems to stretch into infinity. But what if I told you that not all cans are created equal? That some of these trusted allies might be ticking time bombs in your pantry. Imagine thinking you're ready for anything, only to find out that your essentials might not stand the test of time. Today we lift the lid on these potential pantry pitfalls. We're shining a light on the 6 worst canned foods for long-term storage. These are the items that could let you down when you need them most. But don't worry, we're not just here to spread doom and gloom. Along the way, we'll also be suggesting alternatives to ensure your pantry is packed with reliable, resilient, and nutritionally sound options. But before we jump in, I'd love to hear from you. In the comments below, tell us about the canned food you think is the worst, or the one you dislike the most. Is it a particular brand, a type of food, or is it a canned item that's let you down before? Your insights could help others in their prepping journey, so don't hold back. And while you're at it, why not join us on this journey? Subscribe to Prepping for Tomorrow and be part of a community dedicated to smart, sustainable prepping. We're all in this together, learning from each other, sharing insights, and preparing for whatever tomorrow might bring. So, are you ready to discover the canned foods you might want to reconsider for your long-term storage? Brace yourself for some surprising revelations and potentially pantry-saving advice. Now let's unveil the first culprit. First up, creamy soups. Now I know what you're thinking, it's soup, right? How can it be bad? But here's the deal, creamy soups are typically high in fat and dairy content. That might make them delicious for a chilly night, but it also makes them a terrible choice for long-term storage. The fats in these soups can turn rancid over time, even in a can. This doesn't just affect the taste, it could also pose a health risk. And the dairy, it doesn't fare much better. Dairy products are notoriously difficult to store long-term, and that includes when they're in your soup. When dairy goes bad, it doesn't just get a little sour. It can grow harmful bacteria that you definitely don't want in your body. So, what's a prepper to do? Well, don't worry too much. There are alternatives. Broth-based soups, for instance, are a great choice. They're less likely to spoil and still offer that comforting soup experience. And if you want to take things a step further, consider dehydrated soup options. They're lightweight, easy to store, and just need a little hot water to bring them back to life. Remember, it's not just about stocking up, it's about stocking up smart. And part of that is knowing what foods might be a ticking time bomb in your pantry. Now let's talk about another deceiver lurking in your pantry. Fruit cocktail, seemingly innocent, but let's take a closer look. These colorful cans of sweetness can be a ticking time bomb in your pantry. The reason? It's all about the sugar-loaded syrup. This sticky concoction might as well be an invitation for bacteria to come and set up shop. Over time, this can turn your refreshing fruit mix into a potential hazard. Quite the plot twist, isn't it? While the fruit itself is preserved, the high sugar content creates an environment that bacteria find too good to resist. And as these unwelcome guests multiply, they can compromise the safety of your canned cocktail. So, while you thought you were stocking up on a quick and easy source of fruit, you might actually be lining your shelves with trouble. Now don't let this dampen your spirits. There are plenty of alternatives out there. Canned fruits in natural juices, for instance, can be a much safer option. The natural fruit juice acts as a preservative without creating a bacterial playground. And let's not forget about freeze-dried fruits. They maintain most of their nutritional value, are lightweight, and have a long shelf life, making them an excellent choice for long-term storage. So, next time you're shopping to stock your pantry, remember, all that glitters is not gold. Or in this case, all that's sweet is not safe. Brace yourselves for our next unsuspecting suspect. Processed meats, the silent culprits. These seemingly harmless cans of convenience are often stuffed with high levels of salt. Now, salt is a great preservative, which is why it's used so liberally in processed meats. But too much of it can be a sneaky health hazard, especially in a long-term survival scenario. The problem with a high-sodium diet is that it can lead to increased blood pressure and put a strain on your heart. Over time, this can lead to heart disease and other cardiovascular issues. Just imagine, you've prepared for every eventuality only to be blindsided by a heart condition caused by your food supply. But fear not, there are alternatives. You can opt for canned fish or lean meats. These options typically have lower sodium content and provide a good source of protein. And if you're feeling a bit more adventurous, why not invest in a food dehydrator? Dehydrating your own meats allows you to control the salt content while providing a long-lasting source of protein. Remember, the key to a well-stocked prepper pantry is balance. It's not just about having enough food to survive, but also ensuring that the food you have will serve your body well. So take a closer look at those cans of processed meat in your pantry and consider if they're really the best choice for long-term storage. Now, let's uncover another unsuspecting suspect. Heavily processed staples like pre-made pasta in a can may seem like a boon, especially when you're preparing for an uncertain future. However, these items, which are often loaded with additives and preservatives, might not be as reliable as you think. Over time, these canned pastas can lose their nutritional value, leaving you with little more than empty calories when you need nourishment the most. Moreover, the preservatives used to prolong the shelf life of these foods can pose significant health risks. Consuming these additives over a prolonged period may lead to a host of health issues, from minor digestive problems to severe ailments like heart disease and cancer. So, what's the alternative? Well, we're glad you asked. Instead of relying on these unhealthy staples, consider stocking up on whole foods. Items like whole grains, beans, and lentils have a long shelf life and are packed with essential nutrients. If you're worried about the storage and preparation of these items, dehydrated and freeze-dried options are your best bet. These foods retain much of their original nutritional value, are easy to store, and require minimal preparation. Plus, they offer a variety of options from fruits and vegetables to meats and dairy, ensuring you have a well-rounded diet even in the most challenging situations. And now, for our grand reveal of the final pantry saboteur. Yes, you heard me right, carbonated drinks. Those fizzy delights that we often turn to for refreshment or as a treat could actually be the most dangerous items in your long-term storage. The reason for this is simple: pressure. The bubbles in your soda come from carbon dioxide gas under pressure. When this pressure builds up, it can compromise the integrity of the can. This could lead to leaks, and these leaks could potentially provide a pathway for contamination. Imagine getting to your stash of drinks in a crisis scenario, only to find them flat, or worse, contaminated. The disappointment would be immense, not to mention the potential health risks. And let's not forget, an unexpected soda explosion could damage other items in your storage. Now I know what you're thinking. But I need these drinks for hydration. Well, there are safer alternatives that won't put your supplies at risk. One option is powdered drink mixes. Stored properly, these can last a long time and they come in a variety of flavors. All you need to do is add water and voila, you have a refreshing drink. Another option is to invest in a water filtration system. This might sound like a big step, but it's a worthwhile one. With a water filtration system, you can ensure you have a constant supply of clean, safe drinking water. Add a few natural flavorings like lemon or lime, and you've got yourself a refreshing drink that won't compromise your storage. So, while it might be tempting to stock up on carbonated drinks for your long-term storage, think twice. The risks they pose far outweigh the benefits. And remember, there are plenty of safe, tasty alternatives out there. And there you have it, the 7 worst canned foods for long-term storage. It's time to reassess, reorganize, and make sure your prepper pantry is truly prepared for the long haul. It's time to reassess your prepper pantry, making it more resilient and ready for the unknown. We've journeyed through the labyrinth of canned foods, unmasking the worst contenders for long-term storage, creamy soups with their high-fat content, deceptive fruit cocktails swimming in sugar-loaded syrup, processed meats laden with salt, pre-made pasta stuffed with additives and preservatives, and the surprising carbonated drinks under pressure. All these pose potential risks to your health and readiness, but fear not, for every problem there's a solution. Swap these risky foods for broth-based soups, fruits and natural juices, canned fish or lean meats, whole foods and powdered drink mixes. Consider investing in dehydrating and freeze-drying options, and a water filtration system for a safer, healthier, and more resilient pantry. Remember, prepping is about adaptability and foresight. By making informed choices, you're not just preparing for today, but for years to come.